Hey everybody, and it's official. I am on my semester break or my term break for school, so that means now I can start focusing on making my making YouTube videos now. So that means I'll start posting every day again, because sometimes I miss a day or two for posting. But without further ado, let's go ahead and review the Lego Star Wars 2015 Death Star Final Duel. Now, if you're wondering why this looks so similar to the 2020 version, well, it's because it is. This is actually the 2015 version, which I got when it came out. I was really excited for this set since it had the new, or at least formerly new, Darth Vader. But without further ado, let's start off with the figures. Unfortunately, I did lose the Royal Guard minifigures, but I will just show digital images of it in a second. But yeah, let's take a look at the figures. If I hadn't have lost the Royal Guards, this is what it would have looked like. This is the official image, and this is actually from the 2020 version, but the 2020 Royal Guards were basically the exact same Royal Guards since 2001. They didn't change up the Royal Guards. It's just been the same since 2001. They didn't really change much of it. It's basically, yeah, the Royal Guards are pretty cool. Yeah, same. It's basically the same exact ones from the 2015. Basically the same since it was officially released. They didn't change anything from it since 2003 or 2001. But yeah, that's the Royal Guards. Now, moving on to the actual main figures, we have the main reason I actually got this set, because I was so excited for the new Lego Star Wars Darth Vader. This, if you're wondering why I say it's new, because now the helmet is two pieces. At first it was just one small piece. Now it's just two pieces now, and it makes it a lot more accurate and much more bigger. And they also gave us, well, it was new at the time, which it still kind of is pretty rare since they use it. Sorry guys, that's a bit too bright. But yeah, this was really this was still pretty rare since even at the time, even now it's pretty rare. This minifigure is pretty rare in terms of face print. And of course, he has his cape, the black cape. This is actually the older style one where it's the harder material, because that's what they had back then. And of course, no back torso printing. I don't mind, since after all it is covered up by the cape. And of course, this is also a new torso, at least a new torso at the time, which is definitely more accurate than the one that they've been using since 2008. And once again, uses some pretty nice and detailed torso and leg printing. Overall, just a really awesome minifigure and a really nice update for Darth Vader. Next up, we have Emperor Palpatine. This minifigure is pretty awesome. I mean, we don't really get much Emperor Palpatines in Lego sets nowadays, so it's pretty rare. But he hasn't come in too many. He hasn't come in any cheap sets, so it's a good thing that. So yeah, it's a relatively rare figure. They actually didn't really change much. All they did was they didn't even give him. This was it was new at the time. This face was new for 2015, but 2015 was 5 years ago, so it's not really that new anymore. You can see that he has this torso, which I don't think they ever used for other minifigures. I think the legs were used for other minifigures. I might be wrong with that. And there is no back torso printing. I don't mind, since after all it's covered up by the cape. Alright, but that's it for the villains. Let's take a look at the heroes of the set, or really the only hero of the set, which is Luke Skywalker, who has this green lightsaber, which it's always nice to see a Luke Skywalker with the clear lightsaber, because most of the time they have these bubbles in there and then it doesn't look clean. I don't know why, but I don't know, I just have that habit. And uses the same exact face. Even until now, they still use this face. This is 2015, it's 2020 now. Still use the same exact face. I don't know, I think they should probably change it up, but at the time it was new. And of course, uses the classic Lego Star Wars Han Solo hairpiece in a tan or dark tan. That's it for the figures. Let's take a look at the build of the set. So here's the build for the Death Star Final Duel. Now this set is amazing, and I love how you can even expand it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, here, as you can see, it may look a bit cramped, it's going to be hard to put in minifigures, but they did this pretty genius thing where you can see that there are clips right there I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the clips. You open that up, which means that you can expand it in a way. There's also another clip here which you can open, and then after that you can pull this ramp or whatever, and then it will open, like it will basically expand the set and make it bigger. And I find that pretty smart. So now you have more space, and it's very spacious now, because at first with it all closed up, it would look pretty cramped. Because all it does is really attach these clips to this little receiver right there. And then basically you can totally extend it, and that's actually a really smart feature. I like that. But let's start off with the very front of the whole set, which is the doors. There are 2 slots here where you can put the royal guards, or basically any minifigure you want. And how to open this is you just pull these parts in the sides, and you have the walkway, which can fit a minifigure. So you can have the walkway there, and then you can close that up. That's pretty cool. And then you can bring your minifigure inside. Now that's actually a pretty nice feature, where all it really does, like, it doesn't use any complex Technic features. It just uses bricks, no Technic, just normal bricks. So I find that really nice. It's pretty cool. It is pretty wobbly though, like when you think about it, like it keeps on moving. It keeps going up and down, and it's not supposed to be like that, so it doesn't really close fully, but that's okay. Either way, there's actually a feature here. If you're wondering why there's just a plank or whatever, just a random plank sticking out, well, this is actually a part of a play feature which it just broke, where supposedly your Luke Skywalker figure would go launching, but it really just makes the figure jump sideways. Let's remove it with the lightsaber. See, all it really does is like just make the figure launch sideways. It doesn't really jump forward like it's supposed to, but it's okay. It's a fun play feature. And it does look a bit awkward how there's just this tile sticking out, but it's okay. It's still pretty cool. And yeah, I like that, but it doesn't really work well. I mean, it just makes the figure launch to the side. It doesn't make them launch forward or anything. Moving on to the stairs, I like how they use the regular stair pieces, and then they attach these pieces right here, these like tiles or whatever, these studded tiles on there, and they just put those on top to make like bigger or wider stairs. And I think that's pretty nice. That's actually a pretty genius that's pretty genius technique going on there. And if you're wondering why there is a ball joint sticking out, it's actually because it's part of a feature that doesn't really work well. Let's just grab a minifigure like Darth Vader. You push this. Basically, what happens is that you push this. Supposedly, these planks are gonna go launching. You see, when it removes, you can actually see what causes it. Like you can see when you press this, it will push this, and then it will push these stairs, make it go flying. But it doesn't really work that well, because these pieces, which are at the bottom of the stairs or whatever, they always come off, and it's pretty annoying. So I don't know, every time you hit that, it's gonna push off and break these little pieces most of the time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it will break. So I don't know, that's just a complaint I have there. And another one is why this one is full of studs while this one has some flat tiles and only 2 studs. It just looks a bit inconsistent, but whatever, it still looks pretty nice. Moving on, from going up to the stairs, we have the Emperor's throne room, or basically the throne area of the Emperor, which looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead and lift the camera, which you can see there are some prints, or this one's actually a sticker, this one's a print, and then you can just have a spot for you to put Emperor Palpatine. And yeah, it fits really well. It's just a pretty basic throne which can spin 360 degrees. It looks really nice, and it does crumple up his cape a bit, so I don't know how I feel about that, but his cape gets pretty crumpled when you sit him down, so I don't know, maybe I should warn you about that. I don't know, if you don't like your capes getting crumpled, if you get triggered with that, I don't recommend putting a cape minifigure on here. Maybe just remove his cape if you don't want it crumpled, but I don't mind. See, on the sides they have these little blue pieces, which on either side they have it, and that's pretty cool. Even on the bottom as well, that actually works really nice. And on the outside, like you can see, there have these windows which are on the back of every single one of these sections. So yeah, you can see that, and there's another angle for the Emperor's throne room. You can actually turn his chair around, and you can actually see him through the window, which you can actually just pull this down, which I don't really know if that's supposed to happen because obviously they're in space, but whatever, let's just close that up. Also, these sides can open and close, and once again, they just use the same exact windshield print. Once again, this also opens and closes. Now that we're done taking a look at the main throne room build, let's take a look at the left and the right side. Let's start off with the right side since we're already here. You can see that this one is a bit different now because they have these whole tube sections or tube pieces. If you're wondering what those are, it's actually part of an iconic scene in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, where Darth Vader throws down Emperor Palpatine into the fuel shaft of the Death Star. Now what I really like about this is that now you can't really get it here, like you can't really just stick your finger in and just get the minifigure, but you can actually lift that up and then you can get your Emperor Palpatine minifigure out because there is a hole on the bottom. So yep, like you can see the hole right there, and I think that's a really smart feature. Now inside there are also stickers on those panels, so that's really nice. And as well as these little bars, or I guess railings, sticking out of there, which is also a pretty cool feature so that, you know, it's like protection or whatever. I think this is a really genius feature where they put a hole in the bottom so that you can easily get your minifigure out without having to stick your hands in and stuff like that. Next section, we have the part where Luke falls off of the bridge. Now, if you're wondering how that works, you see how all of these are flat tiles, and all it really just stands on is this one whole pole piece. And the reason why it's flat is so that you can have your Luke minifigure here, just standing on. You grab your Darth Vader, and you know that scene where he, oh sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen. That scene where he breaks down the pole or whatever, and then Luke falls. Well, you can recreate that scene with your Darth Vader minifigure. You hit that railing, and then supposedly the bridge will fall, which I think that's a really fun feature to play with. Like you can hit your figure and it will fall. That's a really cool feature, and it's very unstable, not gonna lie. Like if it only goes on this part, it's really meant to be unstable so that it's easy to make your minifigure fall down, just like that. So that's pretty cool. I like that feature. Although, if you do want to display it, sometimes when you move the set around, it will fall. So you can always just fix that up. It doesn't really stand on studs. Like it just stands on this little piece right here. So yeah, that's how it works. Just sits there, it will fall. But there you go. That's really it for the builds of the set. Well, there is one more thing I want to point out. Like you can see inside, there is some space, but I don't think you can really put a figure there. But there's one last feature where if you push this, there's a lightsaber. So if you push that, it will launch a lightsaber. So that's pretty awesome. I like that feature. So that's it for the builds. So what do I think of this set overall? I really like it. The figure selection is great. I love the new Darth Vader, which is probably my favorite thing in this entire set. Not saying the set is bad, it's actually really good. Now, the one complaint that I have is that that feature where you launch Luke, it doesn't really work well. Like that part where you press that, it doesn't really work well. And that the doors are very loosely connected, it's very flimsy, so it can move around like that. And it's not really supposed to be like that, but whatever, it's just a minor complaint. But overall, I think this is a great set. So yeah, that's it. See you tomorrow's video. Bye!